Okay. Yes, your sound is up.
Testing, testing. One, two, three.
Okay, no last thing. Well,
People know somebody has to be on for me to access. Can you go on?
you sent me the link. Send me. Oh, yeah. Is Jenny was joining?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Say something.
Testing, testing. One, two, three. Yay! Yay! People can see me now. Oh my goodness. Oh, the world of the internet. I thank you, Instagram, for being patient with me. And for those on YouTube, had technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And it hurt my heart because I did share the other one, and now I hope people see my new message. But thank you guys for those who are on. I already It's now 7:13. I was supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but technical difficulties, as I said. So if you guys can do me a favor and just share the new link, I posted on my Facebook, and hopefully others see it. And I can start in 1 minute. Oh, I can't even go on my other page. But welcome to my live, talking about my 100 days juice cleanse. Thank you guys again for taking the time out to be here and listen to my little spiel. So I posted on April 15th about me not eating for 100 days. I've just been drinking basically fruits, vegetables, literally. That's all I had for 100 days. And that video on Instagram went viral, and a lot of people start asking a lot of questions. And instead of me repeating myself over and over, I decided, you know what, Jamima, just come on, make a video. Why not do a live, talk about it? And if people have questions, I can ask them. I can answer to the best of my ability. Before I start, I want to say again, I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. I am a nurse, but I am not speaking in my nursing capacity. I am speaking from my personal journey with my health. Okay, let's get that out there. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Jamima. Hi. And as I said, I'm a nurse. I'm a postpartum nurse, to be specific. So, don't take my word as the holy grail. I literally am just talking about my experience. I am on YouTube and I'm on Instagram. So if you guys see me looking at multiple cameras, that is why. So again, I'm Jamima. I've been overweight my entire life. When I say my entire life, the only normal weight I was is at birth 7 pounds 6 ounces. That's my normal weight I ever had in my life. And from then on, I have been dealing with my weight my entire life. Okay, let me get that out there. So I feel like I have been on some sort of health journey again for from since I know myself. Mm. And again, if you guys can just share the new link for me, because there are people who messaging me and say, "Hey, we don't see see you on, but they're probably on the old link. But yes, I have been overweight my entire life. Literally, ever since I known myself, I've been suffering with my weight. At the age of 10, I have been 200 pounds and up from the age of 10 years old. No 10-year-old should be 200 pounds. And the way how I found that out was legit doing um, a class science experiment that we were doing, and we all had to weigh ourselves. And I went on a scale, and then my entire class saw my weight, and it was detrimental to my sanity at 10 years old to see that weight and being teased. And anyway, that's a whole other story by itself. So, in going into teenage years, I did start working on my journey as a teenager. I got some weight off, and then throughout the years, went to college, university. You gain weight because you broke, so you eat what you can, the cheap food. And then before I got married to my husband in 2013, in 2012, I had lost 75 pounds. Woohoo! Great. At that 75 pounds, I did the lowest I ever been was 190, but I kid you not, I probably stayed at 190 for like a week. So I don't even count that. Literally, I felt like I stayed that like a week because the way that I did that was not healthy, and I do not recommend that. When I tell you I've been through many diets in my life and been through so many things trying to lose this weight, I can start listing them for you guys, but let me finish my introduction story. So I lost 75 pounds, got married. Lowest went to 190, but by the time I got married, I was 220 pounds. Stay there, got pregnant with my first child 3 months after marriage, gained 80 pounds. During breastfeeding, gained more, lost that off, got my second child, gained 100 pounds, lost that off, got my third child, gained 120 pounds. So you guys see the pattern. Every child I get, I go up 20 pounds, added on. So I feel like there's no ever ending. And then I reached my max of 350 pounds. 350 pounds. When I tell you I was miserable, oh my Lord, I was miserable. I was sad, I was depressed. I felt horrible. Like walking was a task. Going up my stairs, I was winded and out of breath. And I'm about to say something TMI. Forgive me, hubby. But but at 350 pounds, when you're having relations with your husband, you should not feel like you're going to go meet your maker because you're out of breath. No. So, and the thing is, I was never a person to eat bad. I will say if during my pregnancy or my entire life, if I would eat a whole bunch of junk food, candy, sweet, fried food, and I gained the weight, I would have feel better because at least I eating and happy and gaining the weight. But I'd be over here eating salad, a carrot, and I still gaining weight, which makes no sense. But anyway, my highest I was 350 pounds. I did many blood work. Everything was normal. My hormones were normal. I went to because my doctors was like, "Why you keep gaining so much weight?" I went to my OB referred me to endocrinologist, a cardiologist, a nephrologist, a nutritionist, a neurologist. When I tell you, I've seen all the ish. I've seen it all. And the diets I've tried, I tried low carb, keto. I was a vegetarian at one point because my mom been a vegetarian for all my life. She's been a vegetarian for over 30 years. Love her. So she literally she literally introduced me to the world of the veggie side, the fruits, vegetable, nuts, and grain, because she's been that way. And when I tell you she can cook meat awesome, you would not think this woman don't eat it. But anyway, so I've been exposed to the vegetarian lifestyle. I did vegetarian at one point. I did remember I told you the lowest I ever been was 190 pounds. How I got there, I did the lemonade, a diet with the maple syrup, the lemons, the cayenne pepper, and I drank that for 40 days straight. That's how I went down to 190 pounds. But then, of course, I can't live my life on lemonade. So eventually I had to start by eating. And then, yeah, I went back. I went to 220. So I've tried so many different diets, but I know that eating vegetables, fruits, nuts, grains, those are the ones that legit, legit stayed with me and agreed with my body the most. But when I tell you that I love dairy, I love salmon fish, I love chicken. I'm not so much on the red meat. That's not me. But when I tell you I love those type of things, especially dairy, I did not want to let those go. I was like, I know the plant-based diet works better for my body. And let me say this out here. I don't believe in one specific diet for one person. And when I see people promoting a certain lifestyle, yes, kudos. And I say, try and see which one works for you. But you're not going to hear me say, oh, this is the best diet and this is a diet you need to stick with for the rest of your life, because my body might respond to something different than your body might respond. I say give things a try and see which one works for you. Okay, that's and let me put that out there. I'm not one to say, oh, keto is the way, the only way for every single body, because that is not true. All right, you have to see which one works for you. And for me, the plant-based lifestyle works best. I just did not want to give up my dairy and my salmon fish. But last year, coming down close to last year into 2025, I always start the year, since 2022, I always start the year with a juice cleanse. Okay. So I made up my mind, all right, yeah, you're going to do your usual juice cleanse, but I normally go to 21 days. I never went beyond 21 days. But I felt that I needed to go longer, not for weight loss purposes, but for spiritual growth, mental growth, emotional growth, not just weight loss. Weight loss, yes, is a bonus, but would I recommend somebody doing juicing alone for weight loss purposes? No. Okay. I don't. If you want to do it for weight loss, go right ahead. But that should not be the overall goal. A juice fast should never be, hey, I'm doing this just for weight loss purposes. That's no, I don't recommend that. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. I just don't recommend that. So I know that I wanted to do longer than 21 days. So I said, okay, Lord, talk to me. So you guys know I am a Christian. You will hear me talk about it a lot. Okay. So I said, I'm going to do 30 days. I could do 30 days. Let me push beyond the 21 days. And then that just didn't felt right. So I was like, okay, I could do 40 days. It still did not felt right. Then I said, okay, 60. I could do 2 months of just a juice cleanse, a juice fast. Still didn't feel right. I prayed about it. I prayed, and out of the blue, I was laying in bed one night, and boom, 100 days pop in my head. And when that popped in my head, I felt like, yes, this is the number. You're gonna be doing this juice cleanse for 100 days of eating just nothing but vegetables and fruits for 100 days. And then I told my husband, and he looked at me and he's like, but your protein, Jimmy. I swear that is the number one response I always get if I tell somebody what I'm doing, the protein, but I'm gonna get into that. So the reason why I decided to do 100 days juice cleanse is because that is what God put in my spirit. And I needed to work on stuff personally. I needed to grow spiritually, emotionally, and be more entwined with myself. And I did 100 days of a juice cleanse because of that, not sole purpose of weight loss. Yes, you will lose weight if you're not eating. You will. But I would not tell anybody, go right ahead and do 100 days juice fasting. I did started intermittent fasting about 7 years ago. I learned about intermittent fasting, and I will always fast the least amount, 16 to 18 hours, and then I work my way up to doing 20 hours. Then I will fast at 24 hours. Then I got into the prolonged fasting in the year 2023, to be specific. And how I got into that, because my mom, she was a newly diabetic, and her doctor, she goes to a medical doctor and a naturopath doctor. And her naturopath doctor told her, do 3 days of water fast. And I'm like, 3 days of just water and you're diabetic? Mommy, no, the nurse in me just popped out like, Mommy, oh no, you're not doing this. You can't be doing 3 days of no food and you're diabetic, newly diabetic to boot. I was like, no, mommy. But my mom, she's into the health. So she was like, no, I'm gonna try it, Jemima. So every day I will call her, how you feel? How you feeling? You lightheaded? You dizzy? You sweating? Again, the nurse kicking because I'm like, this is crazy. You're diabetic. So she did it. And every month she will do that 100 days. I'm sorry, I keep saying 100, but 3 days of a water fast. And then I kid you not, my mom hemoglobin A1C, I'm pretty sure she don't mind me sharing this. Her hemoglobin A1C, which is the blood work that you need to diagnose diabetes. If you're 7 and above, you're diabetic, depending on which scale they use in your country or region. And hers was 8.5. So she was full blown diabetic. So I kid you not, a year later, about 18 months, a year and a half later, she did her blood work again. She got it. She got it. I was home. It's the summer of 2024. The doctor called and he was like, your hemoglobin A1C is 5.2. I'm like, what? I kid you not. I scream. I'm like, what? You're fasting? What? What is this? So, because my mom, who was a newly diabetic, basically cured her diabetes from just doing monthly fasting, I started doing 3 days fast. I learned about it. I learned about autophagy, which you basically within 72 hours of no food, your body start replenishing itself by literally attacking all the bad cells that need to be killed, and you replenish and reboot your system. So I will do a 3-day fast every month, and eventually I start prolonging it. I did 5 days of no food, just water. So I worked myself up constantly. Remember, every year I will always start with a juice cleanse. This year I decided to do 100 because that's what I felt like God was telling me to do. And I started that fast by doing a 3-day water cleanse. So from January 2nd to January 5th, I drank nothing but water. And then January 5th, so January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, I drank just water to start my 100 days of juicing. Then I decided I normally document my weight loss journey online, but because it was for personal reasons, I decided, you know what, I am not going to share this because I know once I put it out there, they're going to be critics telling me about this protein, you need protein. Look, I know you need protein, carbs, fat. I know you need those to survive. And I just didn't want to hear it, and I didn't want to focus on just posting. So I took that time out, came off social media, and secluded myself basically and started my juice cleanse and worked on me. Okay, so many people asked me, why you did it? I did it to work on myself, because when you take away food from your digestive tract, do you know how much it takes so much energy for your body to start digesting food, and it uses up that energy that your body could be focused on for replenishing itself. So if I'm constantly eating every 2 to 3 hours, I'm eating protein, and fat constantly every 2 to 3 hours, when would your digestive system get a rest? It doesn't. It will keep going, going, going. So when you take away food, your body can focus on healing itself. So that's what I did. I used to suffer bad from eczema, especially on this hand. I don't know if you guys can see. This hand is a little darker than this. This hand used to break out bad. But when I start fasting and juicing, no more. don't have the issue. So for with the juicing, I saw somebody ask, how did you feel? I'm interested in knowing how many juices a day. So I would drink uh 32 ounce juice. The mason jar is 32 ounces. The regular size is 16 ounces. So two of those I would drink for one serving. I would drink four of those each day. When you're doing a juice fast, I don't like to call it fast because people think that you have to drink a little bit of juice. I love to say feast. When you do a juice feast, you're supposed to drink 6 to 8 of those 32 ounces, which is a lot of juice, like a gallon and a gallon and a half of juice. You're basically drinking your calories. So you don't feel hungry. But for me, when I was drinking the six, I felt too full. I listened to my body, and my body called for four. I I drank four of those a day. And sometimes during on that 100 days of juicing, sometimes I didn't feel like drinking. So I will just fast for 24 hours because, again, I'm used to doing fasting. Fasting saved my life. I love it. I will recommend it to anybody. But for you to do 100 days of juice, I don't recommend doing that first stop. Like that, you jump straight into that. You have to me, you have to build yourself up. Start with a juice a day. Start with then go up to two juices a day. Then say, okay, I'm just gonna juice on one day, and then extend it 2 days, 3 days, and build yourself up. Don't just go into 100 days of juicing. People keep saying you need your protein. Yes, you do need your protein, but I'm not doing this forever. It's not something that's gonna be sticking forever. So if I take away protein for 100 days, I'm still here. I'm still surviving. People say, "Oh, you need a muscle." I still have muscles. My muscle ain't gone nowhere, but I do have loose skin. I did lose 54 pounds in the 100 days of the juice, and 136 pounds in a matter of 3 years total. So there will be loose skin. I have loose skin in my arms. I have loose skin on my legs. I have loose skin here. Like all hair used to just be face. So of course, if the fat is gone, there still will be skin. So people keep saying, "What about your protein?" I still work out. People ask me that a lot, but I would not lift heavy. I lift lightweight because I'm not getting. I wasn't eating, so I'm not gonna be going and lifting 50 pounds. The max I lift was 20 pounds, but I will do 3 to 20 pounds depending on the exercise. Can I can I rather chew the fruit than juicing? I will say if you're doing a juice cleanse, you're juicing. You should not be chewing, but if you want to chew your fruits and go on a fruit cleanse, sure, that is awesome because of course the fiber is important in the fruit, not taking that away. You do need your fiber, but again, it was a personal quest for me. You put beans in juice. You beans? Do you like beans? No, no, I have not put beans in my juice. I have not tried that. Just literally just fruits and grains. Not sorry, just fruits and vegetables. I'm answering questions as I see them popped up. Answering on Instagram, YouTube. You also can ask questions if you guys like. Um, so in my juices for the first 40 days, and you guys can Google him, Shane Sterling. I use his protocol. He basically, I don't know if you guys ever heard about the lemon ginger blast, this Lou Corona green juice. It's amazing. It's a great cleanser. It detoxes metal. It cure diseases. It literally, he had cancer and he drank that juice and he cured his cancer. There's so many stories where juices cure people's diseases. Just so you guys know, I did not had any illness to cure. I'm generally a healthy person. I did went to my doctor and got labs drawn. I did told her what I'm about to do, and she rooted me on. She was not worried about no protein. She was not worried about my labs at all because my labs all everything was normal. Now, if you're severely sick and you do want to try a juice cleanse, I recommend that you be on the supervision of your physician. Let me say that. Okay. Um, I was saying something, but I got through off the question. So that's the reason why I decided to do the 100 days. I drank 432 ounces of juice. It's recommended to drink a gallon, 1 gallon to a gallon and a half of juices. People ask me, did I follow specific recipes with the Shane Sterling, his protocol? He has the recipe for the lemon ginger blast, but I share that recipe on my Instagram. You literally can type in Lou Corona lemon ginger blast. It has it up there. You guys can look on my feeds. I did share it. I will drink 2 of those green juices a day, and then I will make 2 fruit juices. So I will have 2 green juices, 2 fruit juices. It's recommended again to drink 6 of those. So you could do 3 green juices and 3 fruit juices. The fruit juices I made up. If you do want to pass like mucoid plaque, which is like the lining of the poop that's stuck inside of you, that is recommended to drink a lot of citrus fruits like pineapple, orange, lemons. Somebody's asking, how do you advise to start a few days or more? I advise as I said before, working yourself up by replacing a juice a day. So, sorry, a meal a day, you just drink a juice for 1 day and see how you like that. Try that for a week. Then start with 2 juices and eventually just start with day 1 of just juice. Say, I'm going to just drink juice for today. And then if you feel comfortable, you progress. See how you feel. You progress 2 days, 3 days. I'm going to juice fast all week. I had my coworkers, some of them came on and did 7 days with me. They did 10 days with me and they felt amazing. I recommend people taking at least 1 day a week and just drink. Just drink. Give your GI system, your digestive system, a rest. Guava is high in protein, correct. And protein is in fruits and vegetables. It might not be in high amount as if you're on a carnivore diet as just eating meat, but you do get your protein in fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains, guys. So it's again, I'm not taking away the protein out of my diet forever. Legit, I am currently refeeding now. But before I start on that, I just want to make it clear the amount of juices, a gallon to a gallon and a half of juices. You mix it up with fruits and vegetables. The lemon ginger blast, the only fruit that is in there, well, cucumber is a fruit. So it has cucumber and it has apple, but I should say the only sweet fruit in there, and it's not really sweet, is the green apple. So with that, it's celery, it's a bunch of celery, bunch of parsley, cilantro, which is great for mental detox, lemon, ginger, turmeric, kale, mint, cucumbers, celery. Yeah, I think that's about it. You can add any greens, spinach or kale to it as well. And that will be your green juice and your green with your green apple. So there was not a particular um, menu per se that I follow. Other than that, I made up my own juices as I go. I will drink not guava, pomegranate because they weren't seasoned, pomegranate and apple. I will share some of the juice recipes that I did because I did write them down. I say I have to share these when I start posting back online because they taste amazing. I'm looking at my notes here. Uh, I answered muscle. The people was like, "Oh, you lose a lot of muscle again." I still have my muscles. See, they're still here. I'm not like no gym chick, not yet, but but it's here. Lost 50 pounds on the juice cleanse, 136 overall. So my goal for the juice cleanse, my goal was to be at least 215. I went down to hey boo, I went down to 214. So I went 1 pound down. And the reason why I did that, because my goal was to be at least 220 by the end of this fast, because I wanted to reach back to where I was when I got married, which was 220 pounds. So I went beyond that. And the reason why, too, is to give myself the wiggle room of 5 to 7 pounds for when you start to eat back, because you will, when you start to eat, the scale will go up, but you don't want it to go up to the point where, like, hey, wait a minute, I gained all this weight back, hold up. No, I give myself that wiggle room because I know once I introduce back fiber, you will, your belly will start to get bloated because it hasn't used the digestive system. So I recommend taking probiotics, which I did take probiotics while I was juicing. People did ask me if I take multivitamins or any vitamins at all. The first 40 days I did not, but after 40 days, because I know I was doing a prolonged cleanse, I did take multivitamins every day, my B12, and also my vitamin D and probiotics. I will take those daily after 40 days on the cleanse, again because I know I was going on longer. Um, yes, so I felt amazing doing the cleanse. Again, I got mental clarity. Um, I did things, I started projects that I would keep putting off. And there are things personally I would say I want to do or I want more of. But then God dropped in my spirit, how can you get more if you're not taking care of what you have? Why wouldn't you use what you have to create the life that you say you want? And then, if you could handle what you have, then maybe I can supply you with more. So I started a whole garden. Now I'm a gardener. Like, if you guys see my backyard, now I'm a gardener. I made that decision while I was doing a cleanse. Um, with personal stuff, with experiences with personal stuff, I have made some of the hardest decisions ever. Jump out on the ledge, but glad I did. The question is, should I drink juice every time I feel hungry or only in meal times? Every when you're doing a juice cleanse, every time you feel that hunger come, you sip on, you drink your juice. I don't say put yourself on say 8 o'clock, then 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You can do that if you like, but if you're hungry, drink. Don't You're not depriving yourself of juice on a juice feast. I had a friend, she's tried it and she was like, oh my goodness, I have a headache. I feel dizzy. I was like, how much juice are you drinking? She was like, 8 ounces. I'm like, no, yes, you will have withdrawal symptoms if you take away, period. If you customer eating a standardized American diet and you take that away, you will go through, you can have some headaches. But if you build yourself up, if you prepare for your fast before you actually start a fast, and if you drink a gallon to a gallon and a half of juice, it takes away, it all minimizes the detox symptom. I personally did not had any detox symptoms of headaches, lightheadedness, dizziness. I felt amazing. Again, had fast 3 days with no food, just water. So drinking juice was a treat. My daughter, because my children see that I do these different things and I fast a lot. And when I told her I'm gonna do 100 days of juicing, you know what that girl tell me? She was like, "Mommy, at least something is going in your mouth," and she is correct. The 7-year-old is correct. I took pleasure in drinking my juice because it was not just water. So I did not have any detox symptoms of a headache because you're supposed to drink when you feel hungry. Okay, you're not depriving yourself of nutrition. You're literally giving yourself nutrition. You're taking away the fiber so that that juice come in there and go to your cell. Immediately, you have energy. Bypasses going through all that work of the digestive system and go straight to the cells, and you get a burst of energy. So please drink every time you feel hungry. That's a good question. So one of the reason I think God dropped 100 days in my spirit, because normally on a juice cleanse, right? If you're doing an extended juice cleanse, you do go through detox symptoms. If you have toxins in there, you might see you break out in bumps. You might have rashes. If you have, say for instance, liver issues, you might see the side of where your liver is. You might break out. If your throat has issues, you might see there start to get swollen. You could go through some serious detox symptoms, and you would think that, oh my goodness, I'm dying. But you're not. It's the body cleansing the area that needs cleansing. Because I was generally healthy and I always do juice cleanse, just not this long. I did not have those major outbreaks. But when I tell you, baby, on day 80 to 85, mind you, when you're doing a juice cleanse, normally the first 2 weeks, you go through some sort of detox symptoms. I was still passing TMI, guys. I was still passing bowel movement, normal bowel movement, straight down until day 80. Until day 80 to 85, I kid you not, explosive diarrhea. Sorry, guys, I had to say it, have to tell you the truth. It was wild. I was blowing up. I was like, how much? I just drinking juice is 80 to 85 days. Why all of this is still inside of me? And it was just exploding. And that's when I realized, no, I am going through my detox phase. It did not happen in the beginning of the fast, neither the middle. It happened towards the end of my 100 days. And I believe that's why God put 100 days in my spirit, because He know that I needed more than 30 days to get those crap out of my system. I was legit full of crap. I can't say the other word. I was legit full of it, because if you're not taking anything in, you would think liquids will just come out in bowel movement. But no, it was just keep happening until the 80. Then there were times that I will pass, the poop will look legit like your intestine shape. That's what you call mucoid plaque. So I did pass mucoid plaque, which is poop that is legit stick up inside. The average American have, or the average human have 10 to 20 pounds of waste inside of them. Some people, it can be 40 to 60 pounds of waste. And I believe everybody needs to go through a cleanse at some point in your life, multiple times of the year, because this environment that we exposed to, we're not back in the day when it didn't have any factories. We have our air is polluted, the food that we eat is polluted. We're constantly taking in these toxins, and if we don't detox, they wouldn't come out. They just accumulate, and then create diseases. And then our body breaks down, our immune system breaks down, and we are exposed to so much. So I believe that you should at least cleanse twice a year. That's my take. Can I also take infusion between juices? Do you mean like IV therapy? If you like, that's your choice. I didn't, but is IV therapy nutrients going in the vein, so it's not going through your GI system. I personally wouldn't, but I don't see anything wrong with it. That's a good question. Okay, so what else? A lot of people was asking me. So my end goal. So right now, I am refeeding. So I decided to come back online because the refeeding part, to me, the cleanse, the juicing was not the hard part. Yes, I did not eat for 100 days. Yes, I still had to cook for my family. They were still eating the meat. They were still eating the way how they eat. I still prepare their meals. It smelled good. I kid you not. One time I cook curry chicken, and the whole house just smell with the curry, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I never craved the curry chicken. What I was craving is curry chickpea. Like, who makes curry chicken and want curry beans? Me. So yeah, that was not that part. Cooking for them and juicing, no, that was not an issue. For me, I have to make sure I prepare. I work 12-hour shifts. So if I'm doing days back to back, I will do a batch. I will do a batch juicing. So I will be in the kitchen for legit 2-3 hours of just making juice for the next 3 days. And that will be what? It's four, that will be 12 of those 32 ounces being made for 3 days. It will take me hours, but I rather take the time and prepare, because preparation is key. Even on any journey you're on, preparation is key, because if you're not prepared, you can easily go and take things and put in your mouth that's not supposed to be in your mouth. For me, refeeding will be the hardest part, because I have not chewed, have not eat food in 103 days. And then when you even do I'm eating the fruits, it's like, oh, I still want more. Give me more. So my body right now craves the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. The refeeding process for the next 2 weeks, week and a half to 2 weeks, I will be eating fruits. And then I found out that so many different things are fruits, like cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, squash. So I sterilize those bad boys, season them up. Jackfruit that mimics it looks like chicken. It mimics the texture of chicken. And if you season the young jackfruit, not the ripe sweet one. The ripe sweet one tastes good, yes, but I'm talking about the young jackfruit where you could actually season and mimic. I have a dehydrator, so I could use that as well. So my food, the enzyme in my food, I don't heat it to the point where it's losing the enzyme. It's still in its raw phase. So my goal is to continue eating whole plant-based foods, but progress into that because for me, my body reacts better. Not saying it's for everybody. For me, Jamima Thomas, it reacts better to eating plant-based, eliminating dairy, eliminating the meat. Because when I do eat those, I feel horrible. I get very bloated. I'm lactose intolerant, but I was in denial for years because I really love my cheese and milk. Did not want to let it go. But because I let that go, I no longer have eczema. I would not go through the bloating. I would not be on the toilet and I would not be miserable. So I had to let it go. Had to come to realization it's time to let it go and stick to my plant-based foods. I would not come on here and say that I'm a vegan because I'm not. I'm not. Okay, if you thought I was, I am not. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Because that's a whole movement. That's with any animal products. Animal, like if somebody buy me a fork coat, I'm not gonna say no. Sorry, don't don't chastise me. But and I don't want to ever say, oh, I will never eat chicken or fish because I do love salmon fish. I just haven't had meat since August. August 18th was the last time I ate any flesh product. But I don't want to say that I'm never going to eat it again because I don't know what next year is going to bring. I don't know what life is going to bring. But as of right now, in this moment, the lifestyle that I choose to do is eating my plant-based foods, non-preservative, and eating 85 to 90% raw, meaning only have cooked food like twice a week, as in probably steamed vegetables, rice, quinoa, you know. My body reacts well to eating 100% raw, vegan. It does, not gonna lie. But sometimes I might want steamed vegetables. Okay. Today, did you leave you don't eat flowers today? Did you leave the sugar? Oh, sugar is, I, I wonder if I could say this online before my stream get taken off. But to me, sugar is addiction. It's like crack. So if I do have sugar, it's in the normal in fruits. Um, the I do have like wraps that I make. I make my own dehydrated wraps. So again, it's still considered raw because it doesn't go beyond 120 degrees. It just takes a long time to prepare. So flour stuff, huh, I don't want to say that I would not eat flour ever again. I will limit it because so many things contain flour, but I do make my own stuff. So when I make my own stuff, I don't put in the flour. If I use flour, it could be like almond flour because the almond flour is legit just almonds grind down. But good question. I may buy like I love the coconut wraps that I get from Amazon. It's legit just coconut, legit just coconut that they made into wraps. They dehydrate that as well, so it is considered raw. So my goal is to minimize the preservative foods because there's so much things added to foods to keep it good, and those things aren't good for us. So I try to stay away from that, and it irks me because like I will make food for my family as well. They will eat what I eat, but they still will add like they still want their meal. They still want the rice, the chicken, the fish, the turkey. They still want that. I do cook it for them. But my 7 year old, she came out the blue. She was like, "Mommy, on Fridays, I don't want any animal products." And now my two boys are saying the same thing. So I have a 10, a 7, and a 4 year old. So now on Fridays, they decide, which I love. I didn't force them. They decide, Mommy, we don't want any animal products on Fridays. So that's a bonus. That's a plus. I will take that win. But I am not, I don't want to say I'm a vegan because I will be pulling away from what the actual meaning is. Do I believe that a whole plant-based lifestyle is best? I do believe that, but that's what works best for me. It might not work best for somebody else. Oh, yay, Tiara, yay. I'm glad you're starting that 3 day cleanse. Love it. Thank you, boo. You know I love you. But sorry, I digress. I just reading through comments I'm seeing on Instagram. Um, yeah. So I really do think people should take time to cleanse because we are exposed to so much. And you find what works for you. I will be sharing my refeed journey because honestly, I need accountability because that's the hardest part. Yesterday for Easter, like I did macaroni pie for my family. They had meatballs, coleslaw, plantains. I did had what I had was jackfruit. I think I posted the picture. It tastes amazing. But me ain't lie, the macaroni pie, that's my kryptonite. So like just smelling that and just seeing the cheese, I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, you'd be tempted. But I know the cheese will have my belly to like, oh, thy kingdom come. So it will be a challenge. So I will be sharing that journey and need I help. Encourage me, please, because I don't want to get I know that there will be weight gain because you do when you introduce back the fiber. But I wanted to stay between the 5 pounds and then because I still have fat on my body, it still have more to lose, and I will be working on that by the whole plant-based diet. I will be incorporating heavier weights. Have added back my plant-based. I use Sun Warrior protein powder, which is a plant-based protein powder. They dehydrate, so it's considered in it's what's the word? It's not full of gunk like other protein powders. It's clean, a clean protein powder that is plant based. So I use that and I add that to my smoothies. Today I had one meal, so I will you can't get me out of the fasting, so I will continue doing my prolonged fasting. So like today I had one meal, as in the remainder. I ate the remainder of my zoodles with the jackfruit, and then I had a smoothie. It was I think it was, but yes, it was banana. I only did a banana smoothie, something quick, and then I would not eat tomorrow. I I used to do alternative day fasting where I will eat every other day. So like if I eat today, I would not eat tomorrow. Then I will eat Wednesday, would not eat Thursday. But to say I'm gonna do that every single day, I'll be lying to you. I would not. I will listen to my body because sometimes my body feels like eating and sometimes it doesn't. I'm in tune with my body to know what it wants and I will listen to it. Like tomorrow, I will be working and it's easier for me to fast when I'm actually working because I'm busy. I'm not thinking about eating, and then I will eat on Wednesday. The blender that I have Blendtec, which is a high speed blender. A lot of people who eat a lot of plant based stuff, they have Vitamix. So Vitamix and Blendtec have experience with both of those because my mom and my mom-in-law have Vitamix. I do love their Vitamix, but I love my Blendtec better. My mom have both Vitamix and Blendtec. If you ask her which one she likes better, she will tell you Blendtec. I just like that better. But there it's a high power um blender. And for dehydrator, I have the Excalibur which is the top in the line for dehydrators. They're expensive, but they are worth it. I'm not gonna lie, they are worth it because so many different things. You can eat pizza as a raw vegan. Seriously, you can still eat so many different things. It's just taking the time out to create it yourself. And when you create something yourself, you know exactly what you're putting in it. And I'm pretty sure you would not put poison in your own food. Aw, thank you so much. Kudos to you on your wellness journey. I do wish you all the best. But this is a health journey for life. For me, I like to challenge myself and do different challenges. Sometimes I might just eat what, especially in watermelon season. I might, like last year, I did 30 days of just eating watermelon and drinking it, doing smoothies, eating it. I would make popsicles. I would do do whatever with watermelons. My next quest would be a great cleanse. So for me, I love to challenge myself and do different cleanses because again, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna do this for a particular time, then stop and then go back to eating horrible. It does not work. What's the sense of me going through 100 days of cleansing my body, resetting my body to just put crap back inside of it? That's why I said the refeeding is the crucial part because even though I take probiotics, my body was not using enzymes to digest food in over 100 days. So if I'm putting things back in, it has to be high quality food, as in fruits, grains, nuts, non preservative stuff, because I put my body in a reset. So I'm not gonna feed it back garbage. That makes no sense. What's the point? Like my 100 days will just go down the drain. Literally 3.5 months gone of my life if I just introduce back toxins in it, which makes no sense. No sense at all. Oh, you from the Virgin Islands? Hey, hey, yes, sis. Yes, I have an accent. I am from the Virgin Islands. I'm from St. Thomas, but grew up Tatola, so representing both. Woo-hoo. But yes, you guys have any other questions for me? I try to answer the ones that people inbox me a lot. I'm looking over my notes to see if I missed anything. But any other questions? Represented BVI, yes. But again, it's a lifestyle change, not a quick fix. I do not recommend any juice cleanse at all for weight loss. Let me say it again. When you're doing a juice cleanse, the focus should not be just weight loss. Yes, you will lose weight if you're not eating, but that's not a healthy adaptation to a juice cleanse. A juice cleanse is legit what it sounds like. It's a cleanse, it's a detox. It's not meant to stay on forever. You do this to cleanse your body. You water fast to cleanse your body. You dry fast. I have not tried that yet, and I don't know if I'll ever try dry fasting, but that's the ultimate of fasting where you have nothing. Even if you sweat and that sweat come in your mouth, you can't even lick it if you dry fast. Like that's the only fast I have not tried. I would not say I will never try it, but as of right now, I don't have a desire to try dry fasting. I love my water fasting. I love my juice cleanses, and I do juice cleanses every year, starting from 2022. So I have been on a health journey. I should say I have been on a health journey again all my life. But since my last child, after gaining that 100 and after gaining 120 pounds after my last baby, yeah, 2022, I had to do something about it because 350 pounds for me, I legit look back at a video that I had made, it might be TMI, but I gotta share it. I tell the truth. I was 350 pounds. I was pumping at the time because of getting my milk out for my baby. I was at work and I had used the bathroom doing number 2, and I had to wet myself. And I kid you not, when I look back on that video, I cried because I videoed myself sharing how I felt. I legit was out of breath by wiping my own butt. I literally felt as though I was going to the light. My heart rate was up. I could not breathe. My belly was on my lap, and man, I felt horrible, and I cried looking back at that video because I remember the place that I was in at 350 pounds, and I was like, this cannot be it. And what is so frustrating is that I get there without eating junk, and it has to be hormonal because that happens after breastfeeding for me. You know, I'm a postpartum nurse, and we tell our patients, oh, breastfeeding help you lose weight. It helps you lose the baby weight. Don't get me wrong, it does help a lot of women. Their uterus, it helps contract your uterus, so your stomach go back in quicker. But for some women like me, we gain weight during breastfeeding, and it's the hormones. And if you're breastfeeding, you're hungry, so you're gonna eat. Even though I wasn't eating crap, it's just the way how my body responded to having a baby. I just gain a massive amount of weight no matter what I do. And I know I'm not the only one out there. And I know there's others out there like that. I'm here to tell you, do not give up. 136 pounds later, it took me 3 years and I still have more to go. And I will obtain my goal no matter how long it takes because it's not a quick fix. It's a lifetime journey to better your health. I am an advocate and a believer in living in your best physical, spiritual, mental, emotional space. And it just doesn't take one fix, it's a lifelong fix to continue to grow yourself individually as a person. Always try to better yourself and don't stay in one place. It took me a while to learn that, but I'm learning it, I'm getting it. But I hope this answer a lot of questions. I think somebody's requesting. I don't know. Is she meant to do it or is she pressed? Well, I'll see if she came on. But it is a lifelong journey, but it's well worth it to better yourself. Any other questions? I give you guys a couple minutes to ask your questions before I go. I think I covered all the questions that a lot of people were asking me. Again, do I recommend 100 days juicing? Not for your first cleanse, no. Not 100 days. I recommend starting with 1 or 2, 3 days, then a week, and then increase step by step. And you pray about it and see where God leads you. He led me to 100 days. You don't need 100 days to clean out your system. Apparently I needed it because I was full of crap. But you don't need most people get their detox out by 30, 40 days. But some people do need a longer time, depending on what you're dealing with. Thank you, love. Thank you, Sharita. But again, if you guys have any other questions, if you don't feel like asking me, no, you can message me. I'm pretty active with answering back the messages. But I did just wanted to come on here and do a live because that video went viral and people just start messaging me, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just make a video to answer these questions. So I hope I did. And the one on YouTube, I will be sharing a link because that you can always come back and listen to that as well. I think Instagram disappear. But if you guys don't have any other questions, no, you can always message me. But take care and thank you for taking the time out to listen to my spiel. I appreciate you guys. And please keep me accountable on this refeeding journey. I reached too far to go back. Please, if you guys ain't see me post, feel free to message and be like, yo, where you at? What you doing? Keep me on my toes, okay? I appreciate you guys so much. Take care. Love you guys. All the best and have a great night. Let me see if I know how to end this live.